is looking on in horror.
The angry final days of Donald Trump's presidency.
British television viewers watching as rioters, one even wearing a Camp Auschwitz shirt, held up a trophy from Nancy Pelosi's office. Europeans this morning shell-shocked. In London,
outrageous, disgusting.
That's when you have an idiot for a president, right?
And in Paris.
It's kind of shocking because, I mean, it's a center for the democracy.
A tear-gassed reporter from Turkey, which saw a 2016 attempted coup, stunned by what she was witnessing.
I've never seen anything like this.
Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel, Europe's most powerful politician, condemning President Trump personally for not conceding defeat. And overnight, a roll call of unprecedented statements from European leaders, urging America's president to respect the election. The British Prime Minister tweeting, "It's now vital there should be a peaceful and orderly transfer of power."
Not America.
The French president recording a video statement.
We believe in the strength of our democracies. We believe in the strength of American democracy.
The Secretary General of NATO, formed when America saved Europe from fascism, calling yesterday's images shocking. The UN Secretary General, saddened. America's international allies outspoken. Australia's leader condemning the riots.
Terribly concerning.
While New Zealand's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, devastated. Even some of President Trump's closest friends around the world not holding back.
The rampage at the Capitol yesterday was a disgraceful act and it must be vigorously condemned.
While America's foes reveling. One Russian politician comparing these scenes with revolution in Ukraine. China's Global Times claiming the bubble of democracy has burst. This morning, even on the streets of Beijing, one man telling us Biden is president, Trump should accept it. Overnight in Japan, small protests in support of President Trump, but its government too expressing hope for a peaceful transition. While Israel's defense minister writing, "The pictures from Washington hurts the hearts of everyone." And just think about this, Savannah. You normally hear statements from places like Downing Street advocating for democracy directed at countries like Russia and China. For a statement like that to be directed at America from Downing Street, the home of Churchill, well, it is unprecedented in history, Savannah.
It is, Keir. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. How are you? How's it going? Wanted to start my live with that news report because it had a lot of influence in me. You know, I mean, how surreal was watching all the other democratic countries in the world schooling us on democracy. That's something that stuck with me yesterday. I wanted to comment on this yesterday, but I didn't have the chance. It's kind of busy. We're kind of wrapping up my first reporting cycle, which is January 11th for fundraising. The campaign finance board on the 15th. They're expecting my first report filing on the 15th. Happy to say, good news. I covered. And while I explain this real quick, I want people to give me their opinion on what they think, what their thoughts are. I'm sorry, on what happened in Washington, because I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I served in the military, went to the first Gulf War. Let's see, I'm hoping, can somebody give me a hint to see if they can hear me? Because there's somehow I can't, you know, I have this BeLive, I use BeLive to do my lives, and you know, I can't tell if you can hear me. But in any case, I never thought of serving in the military and serving our country and having, you know, other countries, especially in Europe, London and France, Germany, of all people, school us on peaceful transition of power, and it's just surreal. And that's something that I ever thought I was going to see in my lifetime here in the United States. The reason I am compelled, obviously, to come out, because a lot of people were asking me what my thoughts were on that, and I couldn't come out yesterday and say anything. I was very busy. But let me just finish. Campaigns Finance Board. In 2.5 weeks, we've been able to actually do fundraising. We've had over 175 donors. I don't know what the numbers are today, but there's two thresholds that we have to pass. One is 100 individual donors from the Bronx, which we did that very quickly. A lot of my friends in the Bronx, they had to donate a minimum of $10, and we've had that. The second threshold is I need to raise $27,000 from donations from New York City residents. I'm sorry, donations from New York City residents. I need to raise $27,000. To me, it's very important. If you see the link, I put a link to the left. If you can please donate, the max donation is $175. The minimum is 10. I need your help. If you're everywhere. I know there's tough times. What the city does is they give me $8 for every dollar that's donated. So please, if you like our campaign, if you really want us to be competitive, because I really think we have a chance to win, please donate to our campaign. I have 3 days for my first filing. Obviously, I have more time, but I would like to hit that number. We are kind of $10,000 short of the 27,000 right now. So if you can please for the individual donations from New York City residents. So if you can be kind enough and help us out, it's something that is going to keep us competitive. So having said that, okay, so Washington D.C. So we all woke up to those images. We all saw what happened yesterday. A lot of people were asking me, if they think, obviously the default position is let's blame the police. What happened? There were, from what I understand, there is a lot of blame to go sharing around, including elected officials. And when I mean elected officials, the folks in Washington who could have seen this coming. There was a lack of intel also being done. But I want to comment first on what I thought about the folks that were there protesting. I've said it because what happens is that, I was very critical of the folks that started looting in Burnside Avenue and Fordham Road in the Bronx when they were protesting police brutality, and they started looting. And I was very critical of those protests. Their protests turned into violence, and violence against property, not their own. And they started not only destroying businesses, they were looting, and I was very critical about that. I didn't approve of that. So what I got was a lot of people privately, they decided to start sending me messages and telling me, hey, see, why don't you say something about, about the Trump supporters that stormed the Capitol? And I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, first of all, though I'm not critical, I don't make it a point to be critical of Donald Trump. I don't think I ever said that I support, especially storming our Capitol. So I want to make that record straight. I'm always and have been and will be for law and order. Law and order. I don't care what party you are, what you consider yourself. You break the law, you storm our Capitol, that is, to me, treason. Because people die to come to this country because of what it represents. All right. And what I see sometimes is the people that are already here that are either Americans, sometimes take for granted that freedom. All right. And for us to get schooled by foreign nations on what the definition of democracy is really embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me. And I take it a little personal, probably more than other people, because I wore the uniform because I liked what the United States stand for. If we don't like, if you don't like what your politicians are doing, do what I'm doing. I really don't like what they're doing. I think that, the people that are running for Bronx Borough President don't really have the best interest of Bronxites in their head, and that's what I feel. That's what I think. They're going to make the case that they're the best thing since sliced bread, which is fine. We can have that argument, and then the voters are going to decide, okay, this is who we want. But for us to go because we don't like, I'm going to put Ruben Diaz for an example, which, not saying that I don't like him. I don't make it a point to criticize our Bronx Borough President. But if we don't like him, we're going to go storm his the borough hall. No, we don't do that in America, and we gotta be able to let the politicians do their work, because there were Republican politicians in there. There were people there that supported and campaigned for Donald Trump and for those rioters and thugs, and because that's what I call it. There were a bunch of thugs, and I know a couple of people that were there that that I got a couple of people that sent me private messages. They didn't put it on my, I came out and put a statement on that. They sent me a couple of private messages on trying to justify why they were angry, and they needed. There's no justification. I'm sorry. If you are a diehard Trump supporter right now, and you really in your head think that what happened yesterday was needed, then I'm sorry, I can't go with that. I can't. I can't. I just can't. It's one of those things that I don't know what to say, because it's just no, I can't. Just as bad as if you were in the left, and when I criticize some of the people claiming that they were part of the Black Lives Matter movement, I personally criticize it, and I got a lot of slack for it, even from my friends, that I was being too overly critical of the Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry. So I have a good friend of mine, Ramon Rodriguez. If I just finished texting him, telling him that I'm doing a live, which, by the way, he is the king of lives. Ramon, estoy en un live, te llamo tan pronto termine. So my going back, it's just I can't justify. So a few folks, they were asking me, what do I think? And I felt, and I actually got, it wasn't two. It was like actually 20 messages asking me about, what are you going to say about this? Switching hands, and you got to please tell me your name. I love all your comments. I know you're very supportive of our law enforcement and out of our men in blue, just like I am. And I love that. But, darkest day in America. It's confidently. And Latina Brown, great point, and I was going to get to that. Latina Brown, she's running for District 17, City Council District 17. She says that a cop was killed because of them. This is very serious. And I totally agree. And thank you, Latina. You hit it right in the nose. A police officer died as a result of these incidents. And a young lady who was a Trump supporter, by the way, also died. I know they're going to investigate what were the circumstances to her death. I know there's a video, very disturbing video circling around that's documenting when she was actually shot. somebody sent it to me through WhatsApp, and it's very, very disturbing, to say the least. So those are like our government, and this is what I'm going to tell the people that are either especially people that are very diehard Trump supporters, and they like his antics, and they like when if you look back and just calm down and look at some of the actions, they're not forthcoming of a president. You don't call on Americans. You're the president. You're there to protect us. And that's the only because I know Congress, they're gonna take action, and they're going to do whatever it is that they need to do. So Latina asked, how did the rioters breach the Capitol? The rioters, that's a good question. There's questions. I know there was a failure in intel, and without criticizing, let me see what the investigation says, because I don't want to start saying you did. And what I am going to say right now, being a police officer and being having responded to riots and having lost corners because of whatever number of people show up, is the only thing that I can see right now that I'm going to say is that there was not enough police officers present for the amount of protesters that showed up. And I think the protesters saw that they could overwhelm just the numbers and that's what happens in a riot. When you don't have the adequate response. And I'm speaking now as a former police lieutenant, and having been in situations like that, because it happens, not having enough people respond, then you get overwhelmed. And once you get overwhelmed, then it takes a very exceptional force to start taking back whatever you lost, whatever street corners you lost, whatever territory you were wishing to make sure was protected. Once you lose it, it's going to take an overwhelming force, and a show of strength in order to get it back. So I think that's the first failure. Now, I don't think there was enough police there, and for those that think that there is not a role for police, this is one of the reasons. We can't just have a society that doesn't have a. All right, so I wanted to cover that, make sure that you know where I was coming from. I put a statement out yesterday. I tweeted out yesterday. Some people were under the impression that that's something that I condone or just not important. Not at all. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, and everybody that was responsible to make sure that the elected officials were safe, because we cannot lose the Capitol. We cannot, just like we can't lose the White House, no matter who's in there. We can't have people storm our White House and just, because they're mad at the commander in chief. This is not America. So, I hope everybody remembers this day. It's a day in infamy in the United States, because we were being taught about democracy when we were the ones doing the teaching since this country was born. So it's very sad. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things real quick before I leave, because like I said, right now we're concentrating and finishing up a strong a fundraising schedule, and we are out there, but one thing that I'm very disturbed with is that the increase in the COVID rates in the Bronx. Right now, we are above 10%. There's actually 5 zip codes right now that are over that threshold, and that should be a little concerning to all of us. So please, let's adhere to our warnings. Hunts Point and I believe Throgs Neck, you guys are the highest in the Bronx, right up there in 12-13%. So, a lot of friends in Throgs Neck I have, and Hunts Point was a precinct that I used to work in the 41st precinct. So I know a lot of folks there. So please just make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Masks, social distancing. Tina, if you're still there, that's your district. So let's make sure that the folks out there know that COVID rates are high, way above the city. I believe the city as a whole is around 4%. Bronx is around 10%. So we're definitely getting crushed, if you will, with that. As you saw, our police commissioner now, he tested positive. So let's make sure that I believe that the last week there were over 400 positive tests in the NYPD. And a lot of people I know I'm going to get accused. Oh, you're only worried about the NYPD. No, the reason why I always have the NYPD and COVID, I always mention it, is because police officers are first responders. All right, a police officer could be either asymptomatic or not know that he has it, and now he's responding to a job where he's is possibly putting his hand on somebody, or you never know. And the reason I really needed to say this is that the governor, he said that he did not want to include the NYPD as part of the vaccine program. I think that's an ill-conceived idea. Only because, like I said, police officers, just like firefighters and nurses and doctors, they are all first responders, and they respond to cases, and they're always in constant contact with people. So they should be included. I hope it wasn't because of politics. Only because it's always the default position on a lot of politicians to just say, what, NYPD, no, you don't get this. Or you're not getting this because this is all part of the defund the police. And, we have politicians promoting police-free zones. Let's see how that works. But I hope that was not the case. But I just wanted to let people know that the police, their COVID rates have been going up. José Noel Las Salas Baez, ¿cómo estamos, mi hermano? Saludos desde RD. ¿Cómo estamos? Salud, un abrazo, hermano. Next on my item is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm going to have my first BP forum. I'll be there. I believe Vanessa Gibson will be there. Fernando Cabrera, Salamanca, Natalia Fernandez, and Luis Sepulveda. We are all going to be at the forum. We are all going to be sharing our vision as to why we should be elected the ambassador of the Bronx. I mean, they call it Bronx BP, but it should be, the ambassador of the Bronx. We're going to be, the one person that advocates for the Bronx, that really cares about the Bronx. And I have, I'm going to have you stay tuned. I was going to save, and I'm going to save my point for tomorrow, only because I believe that I don't want to give anybody a head start, but I want these folks to explain to me why they feel that we should reward them with a new job. There's a few that their terms are up. They've been in the city council, a long time, I believe 10 years. And, I want them to tell me and tell the Bronx and as to why now we need to reward them for a better job when the Bronx was 10 years ago the poorest county and still is the poorest county. I want to know why. And if you can convince me that, yes, I am the best advocate for the Bronx, then, I'll drop out and I'll support anyone that's there. I don't see it. We still continue to be the poorest borough, the most needed borough. I want to see why. I want an explanation. Hey, listen, we have problems with housing, we have problems with education, we have problems with healthcare, we have problems with how we treat our veterans, with homelessness. We have all, and if you drive around the Bronx like I have, it's a dirty borough, and what have you done? What have you done? Explain to me. What is your argument for us to give you or reward you with being our ambassador? Change that you haven't done in the last 10 years. Explain to me that. If you have a good explanation for that, then I will definitely, drop out and I will support this person that I believe is okay. Listen, there's a couple of folks that are, career politicians, been politicians for a long time in the Bronx. I can understand if we go back and forth between Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, this year, the poverty rate, we kind of surpassed these other boroughs, but we've been the poorest for a long time and continue to be the poorest for a long time. And nobody's screaming out of their lungs saying, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We have the worst high school graduation rates. Come on. This is something that we need to change. All right. Last but not least, because I have to go, is please donate. I need your help. On the top left, if you see the sticker right there on the screen, that's the link to my donation page. If you live in the city, I get $8 for every dollar that you donate. The max donation is $175. I would be very, very pleased if you help me reach my goal. It will make us competitive going into the general or the primary election. I know some of the folks that are running, they are going to be raising the max money because they are entrenched with the special interests, whether it's the real estate, the landlords, or other interests. They're entrenched, and that's how you get a 15% and not a 25% affordable housing when you do building constructions, because these folks, they're going to promise that they don't going to donate to your campaign, and some of these guys are going to come out with $500,000 ready, to drop it into the elections, and but you know what? We fight and we continue to push forward because I don't think that playing the same political game, just in different chairs, is going to give us a different result, and that's pretty much what I have. Obviously, our prayers go out to the police officer that died in Washington as a result of the riots. I believe there were four other people that died in connection to that. So our prayers go out to all the people that lost their lives. Even the young lady that was part of the that was part of the takeover of the Capitol Hill. Nobody deserves to die. Obviously, you know, she, for all intents and purposes, we think that she was a Trump supporter. What we believe is that she was shot. I don't know. We don't know the circumstances. I'm sure they're going to investigate, but our hearts go out and prayers go out. So, again, please donate. I can use your help. I should be back. I'm going to start doing more lives, and I'm going to start, I'm going to start something. I'm going to sit down with my team to see, because one, I want to be able to promote the Bronx and the historical places in the Bronx. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I show some of the problems that the Bronx, that we are going through right now. And our elected officials, especially those that want to get promoted, that want to get promoted, because I call them a promotion, that want to run for Bronx Borough President, ignore those calls, And like I said, you have been there. Why are we still talking about the problems? And that should be a cause of concern for all of us. And Aleja Cuevas, God bless you and good luck. Thank you. Like I said, please, I'm out. I need your help. I have 3 more days to get donations. If you can, $10, $15, $20, my calculation was I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, not counting obviously my opponents, who are, a couple of them are friends with me on Facebook. I don't see them donating to my campaign, but I was hoping, $20 each, that's a good chunk of money that we can use towards, changing the face of government. And, and yes, I am being supported by Democrats. I'm being supported by Republicans, by conservatives. I am being supported by liberals and libertarians. They like my campaign because this is an all-inclusive campaign, and that's how I plan to govern and represent the Bronx. Everybody is included, not maligning everybody. So that's why I don't make it a point to attack that many people. Anyways, having said that, goodbye. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days when when I start announcing my lives. All right, goodbye.